Despite the pandemic, farmers want Pennsylvanians to know their food supply is safe and plentiful, perhaps too plentiful for their own good, because schools and restaurants have closed and many markets have dried up. The delicate balance that is the food supply chain is being disrupted as never before by coronavirus. And in some places, farmers have to make the heartbreaking decision to dump milk and even euthanize chickens, even though hunger is an issue in other parts of the state.
There's been closures of some of the traditional live bird markets in New York City, places like that, and the pipeline just gets filled up between markets being closed and workers taking the right precautions to make sure our food supply is safe. And it has been heartbreaking. I have to tell you, in the 35 years I've been involved in this has been some of the tougher weeks I've had to deal with.
Herr says it's important to remember that our food doesn't grow on grocery store shelves.
Understand that there's a whole group of people, processors, agribusinesses, and farmers behind here, making sure that this one product that we haven't sent offshore yet, our food supply, is coming at you.
And we are blessed to have that food supply. Herr says in some places processing workers have gotten sick, which does not threaten the food supply, but it does make doing the job more difficult. Republican Dan Meuser represents a geographically vast chunk of northeastern Pennsylvania. He's a former businessman and former state treasury secretary. He is anxious to get the economy up and running again. But he was born in New York, and I asked him about efforts in his part of the state to shut the borders with neighboring states like New York that are hot spots.
We got to make sure that we're caring for our people, just like New York has to make sure it's caring for its people. The idea, however, that people are moving freely from one hot spot to another is against the grain, right? I mean, it's not a wise move to be made at this time. So the buses were curtailed and ceased. A couple of the bus companies did that voluntarily. Mart's Bus, for instance, did that voluntarily a couple of weeks back, so they should be commended and applauded.
But Meuser is anxious to focus on the state's sick economy.
If you can work at home, work at home. If you can be productive as well as being safe, do your best to do so, right? And businesses, the governor, the president, this team that he put together need to work on a planned, staged soft opening of our economy over the next several weeks, maybe starting next week. I do believe outdoor construction, for instance, a bill that you well know was passed yesterday in the State House. Things like that need to occur, and we all need to be on the same team. We all want the same thing in the end, right? We want people to stay healthy. We want to save lives, but we cannot allow our economy to be crushed, to be shut down. Slow down. The funds are there for the slowdown, but we have to have the businesses there, particularly small business, to be part of a great American comeback, which hopefully occurs in a few weeks.
Dan Meuser, thanks so much for joining us. Much more This Week in Pennsylvania when we come right back.